So I was playing around inside of Claude's 3.5 Sonnet this weekend and I had a funny idea. I got a notification. I guess it was over the 4th of July, actually, about a sale on .us domain names. So I was thinking what would be a funny domain name to buy, and I actually bought Rizz R Us. So Rizz or Rizzer.us. So bought this domain, but then I was curious, like, how could I like brainstorm ideas how to make this domain like an actual app or something that people could subscribe to. And what you're looking at here is an artifact development inside of Claude that has helped actually create a mockup of this, which I was incredibly surprised with how it was able to create the actual mockups and the different screens and the walkthroughs and workflows. So this video, I want to show you how I got to this point in hopes that you might get some inspiration for ways that you could utilize Claude artifacts and AI in general to come up with app MVP ideas that you could then take, and bearing in mind that this is written in code that you can work with a developer or someone of that sort to create this inside of React. So I actually started this whole process in ChatGPT. I've been using my $100 million workflow GPT and using this because it has our whole buyer's brief built into it, plus a bunch of other frameworks that we use for researching and then creating content around it. What I wanted to use, though, was an idea is like, okay, I want to start brainstorming Rizz.us or something along those lines. And basically Rizz is the slang term for having charisma, charm, in many cases like a romantic appeal. But I think that the word charisma is the one that stands out, and the ability to charm. And so basically what it started doing is giving me some idea for the different use cases of it, and started calling some ideas. And so what I wanted to give it the next prompt here was I want to be more app driven, something simple, and look through Reddit threads for common problems people face. And so what it started doing from here was going through the common problems that people are facing on Reddit related to having issues regarding social skills and charisma. So how could we create an app around solving problems related to social anxiety, improving social skills, introversion, handling awkward social situations, building confidence, body language. And once I had that, I went to, like, say, taking an AI first approach, acting as a market research strategist, and identify specific symptomatic pain points. We can identify common pain points and addressing in a simple, streamlined way. And so we started going deeper here into what are the big pain points. So like things like initiating conversation. I did spend some time looking through some of these Reddit threads. Great place for social listening, maintaining engaging interactions, to dealing with social anxiety, nonverbal communication, responding to common social questions. So as you can see, it's giving me these different things that I can boil it down to is ChatGPT helps me AI-driven social skills app. So real-time feedback, personalized coaching, practice scenarios, progress tracking, educational content. And it started then with my next prompt. So like, how would we create an app for this in a simple, elegant way? And so defining the core features, creating a user interface, user experience flow. And this is all building around that initial solving these core problems, and how would we build an app around that? And so it then started to map out kind of like the machine learning and integration phase, basic monetization strategies like freemium subscription plans. If we charge like $5 a month or $7 a month or something like that, could be an option. Could give it away for free and have deals inside. So this is the app flow. And so here I'm going to toggle back to my Claude account, because inside of Claude, I then took those contents from the ChatGPT thread, and I told him, give me a mockup to display. And so from here, basically ChatGPT gave me this, and we're not ChatGPT, Claude, inside of its artifacts, went through and basically created this mockup, which I was like, okay, that's kind of cool that you were able to do that right now. It's not interactive, but I said interface needs to look cooler. So it kind of took me down, made it look a little bit, I would say, cooler, but not as cool as I want it to look. Got some more feedback from my fiance. She said, yeah, definitely for this needs to be a little bit maybe more masculine, black, rich, mahogany. So I was describing it kind of with her input on what we could use here. And that's where we got to this, which I actually thought was really clean. And you can see it's just a very simple version of a visualization of what we were describing that could be a useful app for someone who wants to use this for building social skills. So you see how it's giving it typography, daily tips, power move. And from here, I just kind of started playing around with it. I started to mock up with additional functions like master dialogue, And so I was like, okay, well, how could we create the different functions for these? And so now you can see it's creating all the different screens within the app and how it could operate, and being able to get achievements, set goals. It's actually quite inspiring going through this process and seeing what was possible. Little charisma journal here, have it be interactive, today's reflection, daily challenges. And now I'm like, okay, well, we need a login screen now. Cool. And so I just started mocking up these different, charisma seeker, unmatched social prowess, homepage mockup, and just going down the line, I kept creating different mockups of it and trying to think through, okay, where if I were to create this app, or if I want to put this in like some sort of presentation, I want to be able to toggle through all the different steps of the customer journey. As to if we're missing anything, here's what we've got. It suggested some additional profile setup pages like notifications, achievements, badges, that sort of thing. And so now we can see the profile page, notifications and reminders, community section for people to leave tips and tricks. And I haven't done anything in terms of coding this out yet. My next step would be, getting, feedback from people. I'm like, hey, would you actually pay for something like this? And, start a 7-day free trial or something along those lines. I mean, I think that pricing probably makes more sense. Something much lower ticket here, easy for people to tap into and help AI, helping build them social skills, feedback and results. And, I generated a lot more of these as well. As you can see, like an expanded onboarding scene. Some of these actually did tie together. Let me see if I can do that here. Welcome start. I didn't like it. Went back to that color. A series of mockups on the homepage. And so this is targeting now different and using language, I guess, to target the different professionals and careers. So you got young professionals, college students, dating scene, social superpowers. Obviously, just kind of like catering some of this language towards. I don't think that dating domino is something I would use necessarily. Flirting finesse, first date mastery. A lot of different use cases for this, but I'm sure any number of these would actually be a well enough niche to start from. And so, looking at maybe like a business executive that wanted to increase their charisma in commanding a boardroom, the language for this person, each one of these would basically get their own, blueprint that we would create to create an offer for this product specific to that market. And so, then just started generating a bunch of different ad copy for it, for each one of these different professionals. And I just kind of stopped there, spent all in all, probably like 2 hours playing around with this whole process and kind of going in some back and forth. And before I, don't know if I'll have time this week to talk with folks about this necessarily, but, or do anything with this particularly right now, other than, running it by someone that I know does React code and can actually create an app. And I want to see now how fast that this would be able to get turned into something plugged in with AI, which would be kind of the next step from the initial mock-up and validating that this is an idea that we'd want people would actually be interested in paying for, which would be kind of the next steps there. Not all of the screens actually work. Sometimes the mock-ups did mess up a bit, but here's the one I was mentioning earlier, and then we'll wrap things up. I added how to do a mock-up flow, track your progress, tell us about yourself, set your goals, your experience level. You're all set, get started, get them into the app, get them set up, and just kind of wild to think that just with a matter of doing some research with ChatGPT, honing in on kind of using social listening on Reddit, identifying some top pain points that we could build an app on. We came up with this AI social skills app that, who knows, could be a very legitimate side hustle business idea if we wanted to move forward with it. But hopefully this gives you some idea about what you can do with Claude and these AI tools at your disposal to bring your ideas a bit more closer to life. Let me know if you have any comments or otherwise about this process. And if you can see, any apps that might be giving you ideas to do or use cases for leveraging what we can do now with Claude, as well as tools like ChatGPT. Anyways, see you in the next video. Keep common AI on.